Hey loves, Kim here, and I'm back with another video. So today I am doing what I'm calling the two-tone semi, which is a semi-detached home located in the wonderful world of Windenburg. What inspired me to do this build is I've been watching a lot of British shows lately, specifically like British architecture and interior design, that sort of realm. I love home and garden shows and cooking shows, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to be talking about the home and garden or home improvement, home renovation, okay. I've been watching a lot of shows, and most of them dealing with the home is about selling houses. So I've been watching this show called Selling Houses with Sarah Beanie, if I'm not mistaken. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And a lot of the homes in the areas that she's been going to in the UK are semi-detached homes, and I never did like a multi-family house. Now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, I attempted apartments and things of that sort, but never just like a standalone multi-family house. So I wanted to do that in this build, and I felt like Windenburg was the closest world that I could think of that was close to the shows that I've been watching. And yeah, I feel like I'm rambling. I'm just so excited to share this with you guys. So yeah, I'm calling it the two-tone semi, and you will see in a little while why I call it that. I noticed with a lot of semi-detached homes, one home is one color and one home is a different color. I'm not sure if that's by design to kind of differentiate that this is for one family, this is for another family, but that's what I believe. And if you don't know, basically a semi-detached house is a house, or two houses rather, that is attached by one single wall. And semi-detached means that it's detached in the fact that on one side it has like its own, like there's no house next to it, but it's semi-detached because on the other side there is a house attached to it. So I hope I'm making sense. And just watch the video, and I think if you're not familiar with the concept of semi-detached homes, you may get a clearer idea by watching this video. So this is perhaps one of my favorite features in the house, that little kind of fenced area above the back patios, and I mean the patios that are on the main floor when you first enter, not the bottom floor to get out to the back of the yard. So this is what you would consider more of like an upside down house, where you have to go downstairs to get to the majority of the living space, opposed to where traditionally you would go upstairs if everything is not on all one level. So yeah, and that's kind of different from what I've usually been doing with the traditional like living areas, or living quarters rather, upstairs, and the kitchen, dining, and sitting room being downstairs. So yeah, I really love this house. I feel like this is quite unique to the things that I've done in the past, and I hope you all will enjoy it too. So yeah, I had so much fun. When I was building these houses, I was only going to furnish one side for two reasons. One, I wanted to give other people an opportunity to furnish, and two, I was just feeling really lazy. I'm not even gonna lie, but I ended up finishing both sides, and I love the way it came out. In my mind, the side with the red door, which is on the left, would be for like an elderly couple that's in retirement. They downsized because all of their children have left the house, and they just didn't need as much space, so they felt like a semi-detached home would fit their needs with the conveniences of a larger house. And on the right side would either be a younger couple or a single young adult who likes more of the modern fixtures and things like that, but can enjoy a more traditionally styled home because that's what they were raised in, and they just wasn't ready for so much house, so they moved into a semi-detached house to get that feel without all of the space. So yeah, I had so much fun doing this. I'm in the younger side, or the right side, with the green door now. And I love the fact that I chose the red and green door because red and green, they're color opposites, so they complement each other very well. But it gives each house kind of more of a personality, if that makes sense. I feel like the green side kind of represents youthfulness and calm and just being kind of chilled and laid back. And the red house is so bold, which I feel like a lot of elderly people are, because they've lived and they've just seen a lot, and they're kind of at the point where they don't really care what other people think about them. They're living their life and no one's really going to stop them at that. So I felt like red was a perfect color for the door to really set this home for the families I had in mind. So yeah, I'm downstairs, and by default there's like 2 bedrooms downstairs, but you can easily make it a 3-bedroom, but the rooms will be tiny, absolutely tiny. On the left side, I have 2 bedrooms. One is like the main bedroom and like a guest bedroom, and on the right side I have a main bedroom, and then the other bedroom space eventually becomes kind of like a gamer's room, where we got like the big, I guess they're gamer chairs, I don't know, well I think they're more of like astronaut chairs, but I consider them to be like more gamer chairs, and just a whole bit with the large TV and things like that. I wanted to make these spaces as purposeful as possible, and I felt like what I had the most difficulty with was actually establishing the layout, since this is more of an upside down house, which is kind of new, but I've gotten a lot of inspiration just by watching all of these shows on television, and yeah, I just really enjoy it, and I do look forward to building more houses in this kind of similar layout soon. Here I am just kind of mapping out an area for parking. Even though we don't have cars, I do feel like it's so realistic to have like an off-road parking space. Even though based on a lot of the shows that I've seen in the UK, off-road parking is really a luxury. A lot of people have to park on the road or kind of like in a community area, but I felt like, why not go with the luxury? I have like this big area, so why not make it so they can park off the road? Here I am just adding in those little chimney stacks, and back inside just kind of sprucing up with the details on the right side, which is the younger side. I love what I do with those 3 paintings, and I add just a little bit of a spotlight above them, and I feel like it just adds a little bit of something as you're going down the stairs. I really love being able to use that round table that came with the Laundry Day stuff pack, and I'm trying a little something different. Some of the main things in both houses are the same, like the kitchen layout, where the fireplace is, and the basic layout of the bedrooms downstairs, but I did want to make them different, since these would be homes and not necessarily like apartments. You do have the liberty to change things on the inside as long as it's not disturbing the other residents. So yeah, they're really similar in like the basic layout, but I do make subtle changes to differentiate them and to show that they have creative liberty of changing things on the inside as long as it doesn't interfere with their neighbor's house. I love the older side. I just feel like it has so much charm and so much character, and it feels so lived in the end. And I feel like this couple is bold, and I do feel like maybe the wife did the majority of the decoration only because there's just a lot of kind of more feminine hints, but I don't feel like it's too feminine to where it would be unpleasing to masculine sort of aesthetic. And I just love the way it looks. I feel like with the house with the elderly couple, it feels so lived in because there's a lot of rugs and a lot of pictures on the wall and a good deal of clutter. And the older couple has a cat, and I felt like that was just so appropriate. Just, you know, for a little creature for them to love on, since their children have all moved house and have their own families to care for. So yeah, I love what I do in both houses really. And yeah, you will see what I do. I definitely wanted to incorporate items from the laundry stuff pack because that is the most recent pack that we've gotten, and I feel like having laundry areas just makes this place feel more like home. If you do play with multiple families, just kind of be wary about where you place the laundry baskets, because I don't think it's fair for the neighbor to be washing the other neighbor's laundry. If you know what I mean. So I would recommend either not using the laundry baskets, but that will kind of have everyone put their clothes on the floor, or if you do put laundry baskets in this build, make sure that they are in more than one room, so whenever your sim changes clothes, it would go to the closest basket instead of the only basket on the lot, if that makes sense. So yeah, this bedroom, the main bedroom in the elderly couple's house, kind of gave me the most trouble, only because the spaces are so small. The spaces are so small, but I feel like they work. And sometimes I feel like the smaller the space, the more purposeful you have to be with your furniture selection or with your clutter selection. You just really have to kind of nail down, is this what I need? Is this really going to function? Is this going to be in the way? Things like that. But although it gave me the most amount of trouble, I guess room-wise, I felt like in the end, it all comes together well, and it reflects the personality of the Sims I had in mind to live here. So yeah, like I said, in the elderly build, there's a lot of bolder colors, like a lot of red. But in their guest room, which of course wouldn't be used as much, the main color is blue. I just felt like it was a nice little contrast to the build, and it adds just a little bit more of youthfulness to this whole side. Now, the guest bedroom in the elderly couple side, or the left side, will be adjusted when I play test a lot of things. Didn't work, so I had to move some stuff around and get rid of a few things, but in the end, it basically looks like that. Now, in their little garden area, I want it to look really, really used. I would think that one of the people in the elderly couple was a planter, or maybe had like a green thumb, and the other one did a lot of building on the workbench out there. And it was just an area for them to just get out and get some sun and just really move around and feel young again, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of people just feel like when people become elders, they're just sitting around all day and, you know, playing bingo or whatever. But I wanted this couple, although they're elders, to still be young at heart and still have things that they can do. I love what I do with the more of the youthful side in the kitchen. Although it has those traditional shelves, I do add a couple of floating shelves, and now I am extending that fence in the backyard so there is access from the front of the lot instead of you having to go upstairs and downstairs to get out. So yeah. And I'm sizing up a couple of those model cars that are in the kids section, if I'm not mistaken. And the pickup truck is for the elderly couple, and the kind of sporty muscle car looking one I would think is for the more youthful couple. I will also imagine that this location would be close to some sort of public transportation. Even though I really don't see any public transportation in Windenburg, I would imagine that there's trains or trolleys or things like that that's around town. And I feel like this place is pretty central. I feel like it's pretty central enough to get to a lot of the different points of this neighborhood. So yeah, here I am just converting that second bedroom into like a gamer's area. I do move that game it's not, I guess it's a gaming table where you would play cards or Don't Wake the Llama. I do move that outside to the backyard area, and I eventually focus on putting video games, and there's a downstairs fridge, and I was going to do a karaoke machine, but after I thought about it, I just didn't really feel like it was practical to have a karaoke machine, so I opt for a game system instead. Yeah, I really enjoy this build because it kind of got me out of my comfort zone as far as like more personalized clutter, if that makes sense. I do a lot of pictures in here. And I usually don't do that, but I just make it, I feel like it makes it feel a little bit more homey, if that makes sense. It definitely makes it feel a little bit more homely, or homely, however you choose to say it. It makes it feel more like home. Here I am just adding in some terrain paint, which came with the Get Together pack, and I'm mixing it with another terrain paint that came with Get Together, just to make the that kind of flooring look more worn in and walked on, and blending in with the grass below it. And I'm adding in a couple of little flags. I just felt like that was a nice little touch. Very nice little touch indeed. I actually got some input from my boyfriend's younger sister about this downstairs area, because I was so stuck. I'm like, what would elderly people have in their homes? Like, I didn't want to just clutter it with no reason. And she suggested that I do like the big back TV, like the older style TV with the antennas, and I felt like that was a wonderful idea. And she also said that they may have a cat. So I definitely thank her for that. And it really helped me to visualize how this bottom area was going to be, because I felt like it was getting a bit too modern, and I didn't want it to look like the other half of this house. So thank you so much, Courtney, for all of your good ideas. Here I am back in the upstairs area in the elderly side, and I'm just kind of making a little alcove to reach that shelf. Even though it won't be usable, it does look nice. And now I'm just going through different stages of wallpaper. I've started off using the Faded Memories wallpaper that came with City Living, but I think I eventually changed it to the wallpaper that came with Base Game, and you will see that a little bit later on. Here I am just adding loads and loads of rugs. Usually when I go to like an elderly person's house, I don't know, I really feel like elderly people, they know and appreciate some of the original features of the house. So that's why they have hardwood floors throughout, whereas the younger couple, they have hardwood floors on the main level, but on the bottom level, they appreciate more of the carpet. So yeah, that's why I'm adding in so much rug to help kind of absorb noise. And even though that's not a real factor in The Sims, just in my mind, if you have hardwood floors, you might want to just kind of absorb that extra noise with a couple of rugs and things like that. I love this dining area. I feel like it's just perfect for this little house. I just love a lot of the darker woods that is used throughout here, and I feel like it's so classic. It's such a classic build on this house, and I just really enjoy how it all came out. I love that although each of these sides has such a distinct personality, they do come together to form one beautiful build. And yeah, I'm just not used to doing something that's so personalized, and it's kind of inspiring me to do more of this in the future. I love kind of like that cluster of photographs that came with Dine Out. If I'm not mistaken, I would imagine that these are either like friends or family, or maybe even famous people that the elderly couple has met throughout the years, and they've created some sort of collage for that. Back in the guest bedroom downstairs, like I said, some of this stuff does change slightly, but the overall layout of the room stays the same. I love that little accent table that came with cats and dogs, the one that's mostly wood. And here I am in the younger side, just adding in those easels. And I would also think that maybe either someone in the younger couple or the single younger person living there is an artist. So yeah, I do add that easel outside as well. Here I am back on the elderly side. On the outside, I just love how I make it feel really lived in and really embracing nature. There's that bird feeder out there that came with perfect patio stuff, and also just kind of like the hanging clothesline and things like that. Back on the younger side, I'm just modernizing things, and I love what I do with that little side table. Even though I don't put anything on it, I size down two rounded ends of the counter, and I put them together just to kind of fill in that space. Here I am back in the main bedroom of the left side or the elderly side, and just choosing wallpaper. Like I said, that wallpaper with kind of like the brown strip at the top and the bottom came with base game, and I just felt like it was appropriate because I feel like in a lot of elderly people's house they use like a good deal of wallpapers and things like that, and I felt like that little detail at the top was absolutely gorgeous and absolutely appropriate. I was just experimenting with a couple of floating shells here, and I do decide on these that are going up right now. I feel like they're nice, and I feel like it gives just a little bit of a modern twist to a traditional house, and also I feel like having those floating shelves give you a better view of the kitchen overall, opposed to that large traditional cabinet on the end. So yeah, here I am just going back in and changing little things like carpets and floorings and things like that, just to kind of pull the whole thing all together, and just really finalizing things, just making each house have their own personality. So yeah, I feel like I've been talking so much that I haven't even asked you guys how you all are doing today. I'm doing great. I have a lot of energy. When I woke up this morning, my computer was having some difficulties. It wasn't turning on, and I got some support, and they basically told me just to try to restart it once a day, not to have it on so long. And last night I was just rendering out this video. I was literally falling asleep at the computer. So I do 100% agree with what they were telling me, and just a little bit of advice to you guys: if you use your computer a lot, just give it a bit of a restart every day, or shut it down at night when you're done using it, and I will take care to do that myself. Speaking of that, and when I say speaking of that, I mean something completely unrelated. Who else is hyped for the Jungle Adventure game pack? I know I am. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. It's coming out tomorrow on the 27th, and I'm just so excited. I've been watching all of the reviews, all of the live streams, just all of the videos covering it, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I'm gonna do my best to get my hands on it tomorrow when it comes out, and hopefully get a build out for you guys. I already got a couple ideas in my head, but if you have any suggestions of what I should do with the Jungle Adventure game pack, please let me know in the comments down below, or follow me on my social media, Instagram or Twitter, and just let me know what you think I should do, or what you want to do. I'm so excited, and I can't wait for all of us to get into that pack and just really explore. And you guys, the build and buy items are absolutely everything. I'm so excited. So excited. Yes, honey. I'm so excited. Back into the build, just adding in a few more touches on the elderly couple side, just adding in a couple items for their cat. And I can't pronounce it. I think it's called Balinese. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not a cat person. But it's so cute. It's the cat with like the lighter fur, and around the face, the fur is darker. And it's so cute. And I named her Snowbell. So yeah, and on the right side, this is like the gaming area. With the downstairs fridge, I felt like that was perfect because there's a barbecue in the backyard, or if you just want to grab a quick snack. And those are those two astronaut chairs I was telling you guys about for gaming. So yeah, we're coming to the end. We're gonna hop into the screenshots in just a second. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye guys.